Afternoon VC, on camera again to show some records. It's what we do here. So this is what's come in recently, wide variety of stuff. I've listened to some I have not. Just kind of getting backlogged here, which is fine. I'm always looking for deals. And when they present themselves, right now, the way the record game is, you kind of have to sneak in there and scoop things up before it gets out of hand. So we'll get into it. First up, another 7-inch from the X for this little collection I'm trying to put together. So this one is the 6.5. So these are all, I think, released in 1991. I've mentioned this band a ton lately, but it's just how it's going. I'm been able to find copies in the US, and this particular copy does have all the goodies with it, and it does have the really cool logo. This one's got the poster insert, so very cool. It was again the only copy in the United States, I think, so I was able to grab it. If not, you really have to kind of get them from the Netherlands or Germany or God knows where. Very stoked. This one is 6.5. This song is in English with Kamagurka and Her Seal. A couple more great tracks from the X. With friends. And I'm down to needing 2 more to have all 6. So we'll see if I can track those down. Next, I gotta thank Jim at Channel Rufus. He sent me a link. He had heard, I think, from Sherv or whoever that I was looking for this record. And I know Bill's got a copy and really enjoys this record, and I know that Sherv had shown it in a prior video. And I had put it on my want list, and it immediately kind of got out of hand on price for a relatively new record. So I just always pass on it. But Wayside Records had it for filthy cheap. And this is on a label that I think Jim really likes. It's Vart Records. So I guess V-A-R-T. I think the record label's out of, I don't know, Finland or God knows where. This is Sonny Simmons with Moksha Samyasin, nomadic, beautiful artwork on the cover and beautiful music within. Of course, Sonny Simmons is a great alto player, but you've got Michael Kristoff on sitar, Sebastian Bismuth on drums, percussion, and electronics. So there's some electronics here. Thomas Bellier on bass. This is like a lot of different things going on in this record. Really beautiful, great music. Stoked to finally have a copy of that. I think that was released in 2014. I could be wrong on the year. I didn't do a lot of homework for this video. Kind of gonna fly through these. Next, this record came in from Sweden, and it's Ben Ernen Music. I don't know if I said that right. It's a difficult name to pronounce, but this is an absolute Dead Mint original mono copy, I think from 1966, and this is a big one in Sweden as far as improvised jazz is concerned. It's an interesting record as it is. It's a top loader. The record goes into the top, and so the vendor put the record in a very nice double sleeve deal. This is on Magnum. There's your Magnum label if you can see that, but I'm not going to take it out because it's kind of a thin cover, kind of odd with the top loading, but very cool. I love the saxophone on this. Really cool tone. Great playing. Of course on the piano too, but a long time want, one I never thought I'd come across. And there's a few record stores I pay attention to in Sweden. This was Top 5 Records. They tend to post on Facebook when they get stuff in. They got this in, and it got here maybe in a couple of weeks. I don't think it was even 2 weeks. It got here maybe in a week and a half. Airmail, and the conversion rate right now with the krona is really good. So the dollar is strong versus the krona. So yeah, that was a big one. Next, I snuck into Repo probably to get sleeves again. And every now and again, I feel like I've been through that back wall there 800,000 times, but for some reason, I always find something in there. It never fails. The back wall, you just gotta dig. I'm in this like this tiny world section that he's got on the back wall. It's just really dollar bin fodder. And here's this record, Robbie Basho, The Voice of the Eagle, an original on Vanguard. And the cover's not in the best shape. The record is like dead mint unplayed. And I spun this. Fantastic guitarist. Really remarkable songs on here. The vocals are not for everyone. When he straight sings, he's got this pretty deep voice. It's really good. When he yodels, it loses me a little bit. And he does it a lot. But the music is so goddamn good that it carries the day, and I really dig this. And so now, here we go. Now I gotta find Basho records. But yeah, 1972, and I can't believe this was there in that markdown world section. Next, found a vendor here in Charlotte with used Jamaican pressings of reggae albums. Just, I can't believe no one's mentioned it prior. None of the shops around town, or I guess no one's aware of it. But I ended up getting from the guy Big Youth, Dreadlocks Dread on TR International. So this, I think, it's not an original pressing. I think original pressing was on a different label out of the UK in the late 70s, probably like 77 or 78, and this is a 1981 Jamaican press, but the first press out of Jamaica. This is not in the best of shape, but plays through, and it's got some good, great roots reggae dub. Side 2, Marcus Garvey Dread, dope stuff. I didn't have any Big Youth, so this was a really cool one to pick up. Next, I was talking with Jimmy at Repo when I picked up that Basho, and he purchased a collection of 70s and 80s rock, which is his wheelhouse, what he likes to buy. But this collection he spent over $2,000 on cash, all mint OGs. Like, I mean, unplayed, pretty much, dead mint, covers. I mean, basically like you're going into a shop when they originally got put out in the 70s, 80s. It's kind of weird when you're thumbing through, you're like, oh, did you get a bunch of reissues in? No, these are originals. So, I broke down and got one. I couldn't pass on it. Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street. This is an original pressing on Rolling Stones Records, a US press, with the postcards, everything, in really damn good shape. That's the gatefold. I didn't have any Stones. Anytime I've bought Rolling Stones, I gave it to my mom because it's one of her favorites. Let me see if I got the postcards are here. There's the postcards, but yeah, I think having Mick Jagger in town, hanging out, drinking a beer at Thirsty Beaver. I had that in my brain, and this is to kind of honor him doing that, which is one of the coolest things that's happened in this town in a long time. Nobody recognized the man out there drinking a beer the night before the show here at Panther Stadium, and people were there that had tickets. I mean, that's how, well, I mean, he's a geezer now. I mean, he's in a ball cap drinking a beer. You know, you don't expect somebody of that significance and stature to just go into a honky-tonk. Anyway, moving on. I'm trying to think what came in next. Well, we'll show this. Went to the first jazz gig in God knows when. I mean, it seems like this pandemic is flying by, to be honest, because, I mean, it was like early March, 2020, when everything started to, you know, everybody's freaking out, and you know, all the lockdowns and the music industry basically completely shutting down. And so this was the first time, I think, Ghost Trees, which is the free jazz duo from here in Charlotte, played out live. And they played Petra's, which is a great club here in Charlotte. The show was free, thanks to an organization for women, and for in Goodyear Arts, which is a fantastic organization here in Charlotte. You know, donations were welcome, and they were opening for the one and only Matthew Shipp, legendary pianist from New York City. And I did pick this CD up from him, Codebreaker, his new solo piano release on Tau Forms, which is a really cool label, doing some great things out of New York. It's a really cool package. I think this has been released on vinyl, but I'm happy to have the CD because it's solo piano. So this is going to go in the car. But it was a fantastic gig. I put up some video of Ghost Trees on my channel here. I hope you enjoy that. Seth Nana and Brent Bagwell. Brent on saxophone, Seth on the drums. And yeah, I posted another video on Instagram where they get fiery at the end of the set. And they've been practicing in a garage or something for like almost 2 years now, it seems. And they've gotten better. But now it's funny, they played this gig and now they're not going to play again until April. It's just how it is. But I did get to hang out with Matthew Shipp after the gig. It was an honor to meet him. Very cool cat. I mean, just down to earth, chilling. Talked how he walked downtown Charlotte. He hadn't been here since he was a kid and really liked the downtown. And I told him about, I don't know why it came up, but the Charlotte Checkers hockey team here. Oh well, Seth and Brent love hockey, so we're gonna go to a game here at some point. And I mentioned that they had the hottest cheerleaders in all of sports, which they do. They're hotter than the solid gold dancers. And he had no idea that hockey had cheerleaders, which was kind of funny. But anyway, that's yeah, Matthew's new release. He's collaborated with everyone. Just pull Matthew Shipp up on Discogs, and I think his releases start in the '80s, and just go from there. And just look at the lineups that he's played with over the years. And he played just 2 songs on the piano, one that probably went 40 minutes, and then the other probably 15. I mean, he played for almost an hour, just two songs. It gets avant, it gets free at times. Some of it reminds you of Cecil Taylor's, some of it, I don't know. It's not Monk, but Matthew Shipp. It's his sound on the piano. Fantastic gig. Back to records. Some inbound. Marion Brown, Sweet Earth Flying on ABC Impulse is an original quadraphonic pressing. What a beautiful album. I think I put this on my want list after hearing Alex Motor 247 play some of this. It absolutely blew my mind, and it's taken a long time to find a copy. Hall Richard Abrams from Art Ensembles on this, Steve McCall, Paul Bley, just to name a few. That was a great find. Next one that John from Dr. Rhythm Channel had highly recommended to me because he knows I'm into reggae, and originals are nearly impossible to find. I've only seen one copy come up in the last few years, and it's go to Discogs and read the description on the sale. It's freaking hilarious, absolutely hilarious. The guy even admits, I think, yeah, he goes, this may be overpriced, but it's hard to find. The condition is complete toilet. But I did find a reissue. There's a great record store that specializes in reggae in New York City, I think in Brooklyn, Jamieland. And yeah, they had on the Wackies label Horace Andy Dance Hall Style. This is the '04 reissue, yeah, and distributed and made by Jamieland. So they're involved in getting some of these reissues out. And this was reasonable in price, so here it is. Yeah, this is just fantastic. Horace Andy plays rhythm guitar, you know, he's lead guitar, vocals, does a little bit of everything with this. Yeah, one day an original I would love to find, because Horace Andy is one of my favorite musicians of all time. One of the just great unique vocals and a hell of a guitar player. So that one's a great one. Next, I recently showed this in my video I did for Alex's project, the John Coltrane Memorial Project. So I won't speak too much about it, but it's been being shown quite a bit in the VC, but it's the John Coltrane Love Supreme live in Seattle, double LP on Impulse UME. Fantastic archival release. I still can't believe that that guy was sitting on that tape for all those years, and it was just in a basement or whatever the story is. Yeah, that's, you know, major deal for that to be released. Sound quality is not the best because it was not recorded for mass production. It was, I think the guy recorded it basically for himself, to have, you know, just to have for himself. You know, so, you know, Pharoah Sanders, first time I think playing in the group live. That's a major deal. And then Love Supreme, I think, was only played live twice ever, if that. So very, very cool release. And then last but not least, I got a package from Dom, Seeking a Thread, out of Ithaca, New York. He did an auction on his channel to raise funds to pay for a roof for his house that, or maybe for the garage or whatever, that's in need of repair. And so he let some records go, and I was lucky enough to grab two of them. One being Augustus Pablo Original Rockers. It's a double LP. It's, I think, a 2016 UK reissue. Could be wrong on the year. I think that's what I found online. Been on an Augustus Pablo kick lately. Plays a lot of instruments. Really good reggae. A lot of dub elements. Fantastic. And then this was the big one. Minutemen Double Nickels on the Dime. Double LP. There is a shit ton of songs on this. They're all just over a minute, between a minute and a minute and a half in length. This band doesn't waste any time with songs. They get into it, set a groove, and then you're done. there's your groove, and then you get out. And the vocals are really cool, but Mike Watt is on bass here, which I love the guitar too, but Mike Watt on bass makes the record for me. He is an absolute all-out badass. From San Pedro, California, and yeah, what is this, 84 SST records. I guess this is kind of hard to come by these days, because I don't think it's really ever got a proper reissue, even though most of the other Minutemen records in the catalog have. But my favorite song, I think, is Vietnam. I think that's the name of the track. Or Vietnam. That one's a really cool, just a really cool jam. So yeah, that's what we got. Some more interesting stuff I've been able to find around all over the place. So remains to be seen when I do that video. But yeah, hope you're all well. Peace.